What's up, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Boy and I have an announcement to make. On Saturday, I have received my invitation from Blizzard for the Heroes of the Storm Alpha. I have played the game like a maniac and will still be playing with the intention of evolving my skills as a MOBA player. So expect a whole lot more Heroes of the Storm on my channel. Also, enjoy the following video. Peace out. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Boy here with a Heroes of the Storm guide for Valla, the Demon Hunter. I call this one Crossbow Slinger, and I also want to apologize in advance if the build is present somewhere else under another name. But I have done my research and I haven't found any particular build in Playstyle that is exactly like this one. Without further ado, let's dive right in. As many of you know, Valla is a ranged damage dealing character, also known as an AD carry, ADC. She's vulnerable early game but a very valuable asset in the late game. This guide will focus on doing as much DPS as possible and helping your teammates. Unlike what her classification says, Assassin, Crossbow Slinger Valla is not made to chase down or nuke the weakest hero. Although she can do that easily, she is more valuable to her team by literally burning her enemies with each auto attack, thus successfully punishing anyone who dares CC your team. The longer Crossbow Slinger Valla attacks, the more damage she deals to her opponents. And from their point of view, at first it feels like they don't take any damage from her. But after a few seconds, their HP will drop faster than a horse panties on a bachelor party. Let's dive right into the talent build, shall we? First off, we have Rancor available at level 1, which gives you attack speed with every hatred stack. Now remember, Valla's passive gives her a stack of hatred every time she attacks something, up to 10 stacks. Each stack gives her increased movement speed and attack damage. Rancor will also give her attack speed, which will further her damage done to her targets, and also speed up the hatred generation process with each attack. The second talent you have to pick up at level 4 is Manticore. This one will give you 50% more damage every third attack against the same target. Very useful for dishing out large amounts of damage over time. The third talent available at level 7 will be Battle Momentum. Every basic attack landed will cut you 0.5 seconds off your ability's cooldowns. Very useful in prolonged fights and the late game. People will argue about taking Searing Attacks instead, but Searing Attacks is an activable ability, which burns a big amount of mana for more devastating attacks. As a team fighter, helping your teammates burn down targets easily, you will need to constantly hit them and use your abilities on them at all times. Activating Searing Attacks will probably make you pay by not having mana for Volt or for your ultimate, which by the way brings us to the next talent. The fourth talent available to you will be your heroic ability, available at level 10, also known as the ultimate. You will want to pick up Reign of Vengeance. This one is particularly useful by dishing out damage to one, or if you are very careful where you place it, to all of the enemy heroes, while also stunning them once after the ability has been cast and a second time after 1 second since the ability has been cast. One would argue about picking Strafe instead to deal damage to the whole enemy team at once, but I for one think Strafe is a shitty ability. For it to work, you have to be inside the enemy team's range, and they can easily kill you once you do. You also cannot use abilities while channeling Strafe, so you are more vulnerable to your enemy spells. Reign of Vengeance can also be used when you are alone to turn the tides of battle and make you win it. The fifth talent available at level 13 will be Giant Killer. This one will add a bonus of 1.5% of your enemy's max health to your damage. This is particularly useful to burn down tanks during a teamfight, making the other team run for their lives. The sixth talent available to you at level 16 will be Blood for Blood. This one is an activable ability that targets an enemy minion, monster, or hero. When you do, you will steal 15% of their max health and slow them by 30% for 3 seconds. This ability is really useful when running away from danger or when you want to outsustain the other enemy hero. Very good ability if you ask me, a must for all Valla builds. The last ability that will be available to you at level 20 will be Bolt of the Storm, which is a teleportation ability. You activate it and click somewhere to instantly teleport to that location. Very useful for chasing down targets, engaging or fleeing fights. You also get to keep the movement speed from your hatred stacks once you teleport, making you impossible to catch. Now to see all of these talents in perspective: damage, CC and utility. Rancor, Manticore, Battle Momentum, Giant Killer will be your primary damage talent, having a perfect synergy to outlast any other hero on the battlefield. Reign of Vengeance will be your only heavy CC ability, use it wisely. Bolt of the Storm will be your only utility ability, use it wisely. There is also Blood for Blood, which is a combination of all three categories. Very useful, so keep in mind to use it when the time is right. Now for her playstyle. Keep in mind that Crossbow Slinger Valla has increased fighting capabilities while fighting, so always calculate whether it's more valuable to run away or return to your enemy and rape the living shit out of him. Do not go alone, but engage with your teammates. Killing their tank early can cause massive damage to their fighting abilities. The rest of the targets are easy to pick off. While you can also assassinate anyone weak enough from their team, Reign of Vengeance is a too valuable spell to be used on a single enemy, so keep that in mind as well. Vaulting is a pretty interesting mechanic. It can get you out of danger quickly, also bring you closer to a dying enemy, but it can also ruin your whole fucking day and wish you were still in Sanctuary. Anyway, you have only one charge in your vault. Use it when you can dodge the enemy's abilities and punish them for trying to kill you, but be careful about your positioning. It can be a bitch. That's all for this Valla guide. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now go bleed your filthy enemies. Later.